Good afternoon. My name is Isabel Nola Dillard. So picture this. There's a blackout, globally. Humans lose electricity. Our cell phones eventually run out of battery power and social media becomes a thing of the past. We can no longer watch TV, and daily basic appliances such as refrigerators and washing machines are no longer usable. What if in this dark day and age, literally, the only way for us to stay sane is to retain pop culture before it leaves our memories? What happens if we cling to one specific pop culture phenomenon? And what if that phenomenon were The Simpsons? What if we tried to remember and preserve specific episodes and The Simpsons over time become like fables? And why am I saying all of this? Well, in recent years in the entertainment industry, there's been a huge demand for original content. As Sonia Rao from the Washington Post says, movie studios like A24 have become some of the trendiest players in an industry increasingly smothered by media conglomerates. And with that, I pitch a feature film adaptation of Anne Washburn's beloved play, Mr. Burns, a post-electric play. This takes place in the near future, where characters recount the episode Cape Fear, inspired by Martin Scorsese's film, which was inspired by a film previously. It's all about holding on to history, and as Philip Brandis from the LA Times says, Washburn's darker purpose is to explore our desperate need for storytelling, and theater in particular, as a structuring principle at the core of civilization. Now, this film will not be a remake, a sequel, or a spin-off of The Simpsons. Rather, it will be an adaptation from stage to screen. It will mix fantasy and reality in a familiar yet original concept, and will tackle cultural matter and dystopia at its heart. Like the play, the film will be broken into 3 acts, and broken into chapters that films such as Moonlight and Inglourious Basterds do so successfully. It will showcase the de-evolution of humanity post-electricity. Now, The Simpsons aesthetically will not be seen in their traditional form, rather in figures that resemble the characters. And in turn, The Simpsons will become godlike figures playing on that theme of mythology. Visual and tonal inspirations for this film include Swiss Army Man by the Daniels, films by Ari Aster that are so skilled at creating this uncomfortable feeling that we can't look away from, seen in films such as Midsommar and Hereditary. Tim Burton and Danny Elfman. Tim Burton is known for his zany visuals, his off-kilter, strange darkness, and finding the humanity in the twisted. I think this is something that could be easily tackled in Mr. Burns. Danny Elfman created the original score for The Simpsons, so to have him score Mr. Burns with all those choral instrumentals and that eeriness would be full circle. Julie Taymor is another inspiration with her use of puppetry and practical effects, both on the stage and on the screen. In terms of audience demographics, of course Simpsons fans will appreciate the references and satirical elements, but non-Simpsons fans also can take something away from this film. They can enjoy the art house dystopia and the narrative. As Ben Brantley from the New York Times says, Hollywood, by the way, could take a lesson from Miss Washburn, the playwright, who has managed to be just specific enough to suggest a futurist world with its own rules and without the holes in logic that plague so many blockbusters. This is what I would like to achieve with this adaptation. Now, this adaptation tackles themes of cultural matter, as I've stated previously, and also the theme that humanity is primitive, and eventually we will revert back to traditional ways of storytelling as we have before. My goal is to create a feature film adaptation that is unique to the play while also honoring Anne Washburn's concept. And with that, I will leave you with a quote from Philip Brandis. Never take your pop culture for granted. Today's animated sitcom might just turn out to be tomorrow's sacred texts. I hope to accomplish this in Mr. Burns. Thank you.